What if the second coming isn't about one man, but about you? Hey guys, it's John sitting here in my studio with a fabulous mug of water. It is summer, and I am enjoying my summertime. I'm sitting here in a pair of shorts, barefoot, with a t-shirt on, just enjoying my time in the studio. I'm about to go out and spend some time outside doing yard work today. Prophets of old talked about a return, but the return that they're keep speaking of is inside of you. So the real message of Jeshua and John the Beloved was awakening that inner divinity, that Christ within. Now, I don't like to use the word Christ because it is a messianic term setting someone apart who was anointed. It's also a word that was used, like the word Messiah was Mashiach, which was used for kings, people of power over others. But Jeshua was all about the power is within you, the inner Christ, the inner divinity that you have. It's not a person, it's a consciousness. Edgar Cayce talked about Christ as a pattern of life to be awakened. In other words, to broaden our awareness of our divinity and our part in creation, to step into that idea that we are created. Paul Solomon said the highest self is the divine returning. And the highest self is the divine returning, the awareness of our divinity returning to ourself. The highest self is our divinity returning to ourselves. Our intuition is our higher self, and our higher self is aware of its divinity. But it's here in the physical, we have a schism because we feel separate and alone, because down here we have the processes of fear that create a fog that obscures the view of our divinity. In the Gospel of John, he talks about the Christ within you. And the return really means something, not a physical event, but an internal transformation. All of these people were just talking about this idea of this return to our divinity, this awakening to our divinity, this awareness of our divinity. It's not a physical event. It's a consciousness event. It's an awareness of our internal transformation. Back in the 12 and 1300s, the Cathar views of reincarnation and the divine spark, they had a collective awakening idea. Living as a teacher returned. That each one of us is living as a teacher returned with presence, peace, and power of choice. Channeling our love through thoughts and actions. Service as a sacred duty. And now, a quick word from our sponsor. Coffee Time with John. This channel runs off coffee, so get your coffee and tea at johnsjoe.com. If we started to think about how do we awaken to this inner divinity, people talk about meditation. I talk about sitting in love, but both of these are kind of dogmas. They're techniques. I sit in love because it feels good. It's not something you need to do. It's not something that is a pathway you must take. The external trappings of doctrines and dogmas take us away from our own journey, our own self. I sit in love because it feels good to me, not because I feel the obligation to sit in love. Forgiveness and compassion are tools of delivering that love and compassion into the world. But oftentimes we forget to forgive ourselves or have compassion for our own actions. We have to understand that we are also part of God, and being part of God, we have to give love to ourselves equally. No part of God is not worthy, and you are part of God. And this concept of forgiveness and compassion means that in the moment, it doesn't, the fear-based ideas that they betrayed me or they hurt me or they held me back or they did something unloving to me. Forgiveness and compassion says, okay, I'm not going to react in fear. I'm going to turn the other cheek and be the love instead of the fear. We can remember our own divinity within. We can come back to the understanding of our true loving identity. That identity is a purpose, and that purpose is to be the love that's within each one of us. My friends, you are the second coming. You are the return. You are the awakening. You are the The first moment of that you can choose love. You are the moment. You are the now. You are the I am. You have the ability in this moment to be the love that you'd like to see in the world, to be the awakening, to be the second coming of that greater awareness of love that Yeshua embodied, that Buddha embodied, that Krishna embodied, that Baha'u'llah embodied, that Muhammad embodied, that Moses embodied. Be the love within, not the doctrines and dogmas that were built up afterwards. You only live in one moment, and there's only one moment you can take divine action. You can't do anything in the past. You can't do anything in the future. Be love in the here and now. Choose love in the here and now. Awaken to that greater awareness that love is your truth. And then step forward and put your thoughts, words, and deeds in alignment with that truth. And the outcome will be miraculous. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day. And I'll talk to you soon. See you. Bye.